Alright, hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little pan over. I'm sorry the lighting is not the greatest in this room right now. I do have my blinds and curtains closed because it's actually so hot in Scotland right now. But yeah, I'm hoping that the shadows aren't too bad and that you get a good idea of how this looks. I have finally finished my Hippy Trippy Sheep, which is a custom that I got made of my own art from Evermoment. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of me saying that. But I finally finished her and I love her so much. So let's first start off. If we zoom in a little bit, you can see that I did do some custom embellishments. So over here I have added some sparkles. I don't know if can I zoom in even closer? Yes, you can see. So I've added some sparkly drills here, and I've also added some ABs in her glasses up here. I've added some purple sparkles in her hair in some of the kind of curls there. And then we have some more ABs in these pink clouds. I've added them here. And finally, you can't really see, but some of these are actually glow in the dark. I don't know. Maybe I will try and take a picture afterwards and show you that, but I actually haven't seen them yet. I'm not sure how I feel about doing, this is my first time doing these glow in the dark, and I'm not sure how I feel about it because basically it doesn't look so, not that it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look amazing when it's not dark. So I think I probably won't use them in future, but it was an interesting experience. I'm sorry, I just like launched straight into this without introducing myself. So I am Diella, or Ellie, and welcome to some diamond painting. This is kind of a post in review sort of thing, I don't know what it's called, a review of this canvas that I have finished. This was my first time working with Evermoment. So Evermoment are a supplier on AliExpress, and they do, I think they might do some of their own designs, but they do a lot of customs where you can send in some art and they will kind of render it for you. And they showed me an example of what the rendering would look like, and I approved it before I actually ordered it. And this is also my very first time working with squares. So, I mean, you can see there is a little bit of gapping in some places. I have no idea how normal that is or not. Overall, I'm actually quite happy. I don't know if we zoom out a bit. I don't think it's very noticeable. So I'm quite happy with it. I keep saying this in every video I do about this piece, but I love, love, love the colors. They're just amazing to me. Really love how they turned out. So I will say that the extra special drills, I did order those separately off eBay, and I just chose which ones I was going to replace. So that was not actually from Evermoment. Evermoment do have a listing which you can order which has the special drills, and I'm going to try that in some of my next orders. But this one was just a plain canvas, no specials, and I just added my own specials in. So yeah, very happy. I will probably post, well, I mean, you can see over here, but I'll also upload an image of how it looked, kind of the original versus the diamond painting. Yeah, like I said, actually super happy with it, and it was a lot of fun. Just the colors were just amazing, and I felt like there was a good mixture of color blocking and confetti, so it was just interesting, but not too tedious or anything. So really enjoyed that. I don't really have too much else to say. I suppose I can say, for this being my first kit that I did with squares, in the beginning I really disliked it. I felt like I'd made the biggest mistake ever. I was like regretting it so hard. Yeah, it's just not what I would usually do, and it's very different. So like I said, it's the first time I was working with squares. With rounds, you can just pick them up with your drill pen, and they're round, so it doesn't matter. With the squares, they have to have a certain orientation. You can't have them at like a diagonal. So I did find, after some experimentation and also some suggestions in a diamond painting group that I'm part of, that I did find using the tweezers really helped. So what I did is I did like a checkerboard placement, and then I went back with the drill pen and filled in the holes. So that is what worked for me. I am in two minds about how I feel about it. I do really like the finished look of this. And so what I have done is, for the next 3 that I've ordered 1 that's going to be rounds and 2 that are going to be squares. So I can carry on experimenting and see how I feel about it, and also see how I feel about the finished piece if I do it in rounds, whether I like it as much or whether the canvas sticking through will be enough of a motivation to go back to the squares. So we'll find that out. My only kind of complaint is you can kind of see, let's zoom in here, this actually looks a bit more contrasty on the camera, but I feel like this could have been even more contrasted. Like, all these others have much better shading, and these flowers, these big purple ones, just have not the highest amount of contrast, but it's really not the end of the world. I still think the overall piece looks really nice. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about was actually the drills. So let's zoom in a bit closer. Okay, so this is from my little trash pot that I have. This is, whoops, what I use. It just sticks on my desk. And as you can see, there are a few extra bits in here. Like, some of the rounds were obviously from like some bits that were on my table and I just threw them away. But we can also have a look at some of the trash that came with. And so this was my first time working with square, and so these were definitely resin. I don't know if any of the others I've worked with before have been resin or not. I know some people say that if the back is flat and doesn't have any dimples, you can tell that it's resin. However, I actually have been doing quite a bit of research into making resin things like coasters and stuff. And one of the issues you get a lot is bubbling, and the other is also if it's not filled up, if the mold is not filled up all the way, you can get kind of a dip in the back. So that's just something that I know is an issue with resin, just in general for the craft. And so there was an interesting thing with a few of these. So obviously these are just little bits that are extra, that's nothing. But in terms of the drills, I had, you can see some of them, like this pink one here has a little extra bit on the side, which if I put that in would be pushing the other drills. Because squares are so close to each other, it would probably push it out and make an issue. This one here has a mark on it. I don't know what caused that mark, but it does have a little black mark on it, which is why I threw it in the trash. Some of these drills are probably fine. Yeah, that one's fine. They would have just been ones that got mixed in with the other ones and that sort of thing. But this one, I don't know if you can see that. It's like missing a whole chunk out of it. So that's obviously something where there was like a big bubble in the resin. Whoops. There's also some with like smaller bubbles. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera. I don't know if I can. Oops, this canvas is sticking to me. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a little bit of a bubble on the side there. So quite a few of them had little bubbles like that, which, I mean, you can still use them, but you might be able to see them. I'm not sure if I can see any on the canvas. I tried to pull most of them out and not use them. But so that was the main things, was either like a big bubble like that where there's a whole chunk missing, a mark on it, little bits sticking out, some bubbles. Oh, I also had some which were like this one. Again, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it's like concave. Like, look at that. It's like just the shell of a drill. And quite a few of them that I threw in here. No, that one's fine. Oh, here's some more. These ones are also, you can see the back has like a little scoop in it. So yeah, but that being said, this does seem like a kind of typical issue that one would find with resin, if it's anything similar to working with normal epoxy resin for crafts. And there were more than enough drills, like absolutely more than enough drills. There was no way I was going to be running out. So that is not, I wouldn't look at that and say, oh, I don't want to buy from that company, because I think there will always be imperfections and things, and as long as you have enough materials to finish the kit, I think that's perfectly acceptable, at least for me. So let me know if you've been working with resin drills before. Is this something that's common? Like I said, this is the first time I'm working with squares, and I believe it's the first time I'm working with resin, so a lot of these things are very new to me. And what do you think about the gapping on this canvas? Like, is it a lot of gapping? Is it a little? Obviously, I believe there is going to always be some gapping, because if all of the drills absolutely touched each other, you would probably get popping where they don't lie flat and they kind of come off the canvas. So I think there's always going to be a little bit of space. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed working on this canvas. I had a really good time. I had some other art commitments, so it took me a little bit longer in terms of like how many months it was from when I started to when I finished, but I will put up on the screen. I did track how much actual time I spent working on it, and I'll put that up on the screen for you as well, so you can see how long it took me to complete. But yeah, I'm very excited, and I've just ordered my next couple from Evermoment of my own art, so I'm gonna have to wait a bit. So I'm gonna be a little bit yeah, like feeling at a loss for what to do. So yeah, but I'm very excited to carry on working with these canvases because they've been such good quality. And as I said when I did the unboxing for this canvas is a lovely, like, it's got kind of a velvety feel at the back, and the top is quite smooth and it's sturdy, but it's not wrinkled. It lays completely flat. Yeah, I really enjoyed working with this canvas. I don't have any complaints about the actual quality of the original canvas. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!